Hey, welcome to Easy English Daily Podcast. I'm Tom.
And I'm Sarah. Today we're diving into a book that honestly changed how I work.
Oh, yeah? Which one?
Deep Work by Cal Newport. And Tom, I have a question for you. How many times have you checked your phone today?
I don't know. Maybe 20 times? 30?
Exactly. And it's not even noon yet, right?
Right, but that's normal, isn't it? I mean, everyone does it.
That's the problem Newport talks about. We live in this world where we're constantly interrupted. You're trying to write an email, then ping, a notification from Instagram. You're working on a report, then buzz, a text message. You're reading something important, then ding, someone liked your photo.
Yeah, that's my entire day. I feel like I'm always busy, but at the end of the day, I haven't actually finished anything important.
That's what Newport calls shallow work. It's all those little tasks that don't require much thinking. Checking emails, replying to messages, scrolling through social media, attending meetings that could have been emails.
So what's the opposite? What's deep work?
Deep work is when you focus intensely on a cognitively demanding task without any distractions. Cognitively demanding just means it requires serious brain power, serious thinking.
Like writing a book or solving a complex problem?
Exactly. Think about it this way. When was the last time you sat down for 2 or 3 hours straight and just focused on one difficult thing? No phone, no internet, no interruptions.
Honestly, I can't remember. That sounds almost impossible.
It feels impossible because we've trained our brains to expect constant stimulation. But here's the thing. The ability to do deep work is becoming super rare, and that makes it super valuable.
Wait, so you're saying because nobody can focus anymore, the people who can focus have an advantage?
Massive advantage. Newport argues that deep work is like a superpower in our economy. The people who can master it will thrive. The people who can't will struggle.
Okay, you've got my attention. So how do we actually do this deep work thing?
Newport gives us 4 rules. The first one is work deeply. This means you need to create routines and rituals that help you enter a state of deep focus.
Rituals? Like what?
Well, different people do it differently. Newport talks about different philosophies. There's the monastic approach, where you basically cut yourself off from the world for long periods.
Like a monk?
Exactly. Think about Bill Gates. He used to take think weeks, where he'd go to a cabin in the woods with no distractions, just books and papers, and he'd think deeply about Microsoft's future.
A whole week? I can barely manage an hour.
Right, that's pretty extreme. But there's also the bimodal approach, where you divide your time. Maybe you do deep work for a few days, then you're available for meetings and emails for a few days.
That sounds more realistic.
And then there's the rhythmic approach, which is probably the easiest for most people. You just pick the same time every day for deep work. Maybe every morning from 8 to 11, that's your deep work time. No exceptions.
So you're building a habit.
Exactly. Your brain starts to expect it. You sit down at 8 a.m. and your brain knows, okay, it's time to focus.
But what about all the distractions? I can decide to focus, but then my phone starts buzzing.
That's why you need what Newport calls a distraction-free environment. Put your phone in another room, turn off the Wi-Fi, tell people you're unavailable. Some people even go to libraries or coffee shops where nobody knows them.
Carl Jung did something like that, right?
Yes, Jung built a tower in the woods, a place with no electricity, no phone, nothing. He'd go there to think and write. That's where he developed his most important psychological theories.
A tower in the woods? That's commitment.
It is, but you don't need to build a tower. You just need to create some kind of sacred space for deep work, even if it's just a corner of your apartment with the door closed.
Okay, so that's rule 1. Work deeply. What's rule 2?
Rule 2 is embrace boredom. And this one is tough because we've become addicted to our phones.
What do you mean, embrace boredom?
Think about what you do when you're standing in line at the grocery store, or waiting for a friend, or sitting on the bus.
I check my phone.
Exactly, we all do. We reach for our phones the second we feel even the tiniest bit bored.
But that makes it harder to focus when we actually need to.
Yes, Newport says if you're constantly switching your attention to the most exciting thing available, you're teaching your brain to never tolerate boredom. And deep work requires you to tolerate some boredom, especially at the beginning when you're struggling with a hard problem.
So what should I do instead?
Just stand there and think?
Yes. Or observe, look around, let your mind wander. Some of the best ideas come when your mind is relaxed and wandering, not when it's frantically scrolling through Twitter.
That sounds really hard, though.
It is at first. Newport suggests scheduling when you'll use the internet. So instead of being online all the time and occasionally going offline, you're offline all the time and occasionally going online.
Wait, what? That sounds backwards.
I know it sounds extreme, but think about it. If you schedule internet blocks, maybe 30 minutes every 2 hours, you train your brain to focus during the offline time. You might feel the urge to check something, but you tell yourself, I can check that in 40 minutes during my next internet block.
And that helps build focus?
Yes, because you're practicing delaying gratification. You're building your focus muscles.
Focus muscles? Is that a real thing?
In a way, yes. Newport talks about myelin. Myelin is this substance in your brain that wraps around neurons, around the connections in your brain, and it makes signals travel faster.
So it's like insulation on a wire.
Perfect analogy. And the more you practice a skill with deep focus, the more myelin builds up around those specific neural pathways. That's how you get better at anything. But if you're constantly distracted, multitasking, jumping from thing to thing, you're not building myelin. You're just saturating your brain with shallow stimulation.
Saturating means like filling it up completely.
Yeah, like soaking a sponge. Your brain is so full of shallow information that there's no room for deep learning.
Okay, so we've got work deeply and embrace boredom. What's rule 3?
Rule 3 is quit social media.
Quit social media completely?
Newport's argument is that social media is engineered to be addictive. Every like, every comment, every notification gives you a little hit of dopamine. It's designed to fragment your attention.
Fragment means to break into pieces.
Exactly. Your attention gets broken into tiny little pieces. You can never focus on one thing for long because you're always wondering, did someone like my post? Did I get a new message?
Yeah, that's my entire day. I feel like I'm always busy, but at the end of the day, I haven't actually finished anything important.
That's what Newport calls the craftsman approach to tool selection. What's that mean? A craftsman doesn't use a tool just because it might be useful sometimes. A craftsman uses a tool only if the benefits substantially outweigh the negatives. So you need to honestly evaluate, does Twitter actually help your career goals? Does Instagram actually improve your friendships? Or are you just telling yourself that?
That's a tough question.
Newport suggests a 30-day experiment. Quit social media for 30 days. Don't announce it, don't deactivate, just stop using it. After 30 days, ask yourself 2 questions. 1. Would the last 30 days have been notably better if I'd been able to use this service? And 2, did people care that I wasn't on it?
And if the answer is both no?
Then quit permanently, because it's not actually adding value to your life. It's just stealing your attention and your ability to do deep work.
But what if the answer is yes, though?
Then maybe you keep it, but you use it intentionally. Maybe you check it once a day for 15 minutes instead of 50 times a day for 3 hours total.
That makes sense. So what's rule 4?
The 4th rule is drain the shallows. This is about reducing the amount of shallow work in your life.
How do you do that? I mean, emails and meetings are part of work.
True, but Newport argues we do way more shallow work than necessary. He suggests becoming very hard to reach. Make people work a little to contact you. Don't give out your email to everyone. Don't respond to every message instantly.
Won't people get annoyed?
Some might, but others will respect your time more. If you respond to every email within 5 minutes, you're training people to expect instant responses. That means you can never do deep work because you're always on call.
So I should respond slower?
Respond slower, but also be selective. Newport suggests doing more work when you send an email. So instead of sending a quick, "Sounds good, what do you think?" which just creates more back and forth, send a detailed message that closes the loop. Here's my suggestion, here are 3 options, let me know by Thursday which you prefer.
So you're reducing the number of emails overall.
Exactly. Every shallow email you send creates more shallow emails coming back. You want to reduce that cycle.
What about meetings?
Newport says most meetings are shallow work dressed up as important work. Before you accept a meeting, ask yourself, is this really the best use of an hour of my time? Could this be handled with a quick phone call or an email?
I've definitely sat through meetings that could have been emails.
We all have. Newport suggests being ruthless about protecting your time. Maybe you only accept meetings on certain days or certain hours. The rest of your time is blocked for deep work.
This all sounds great in theory, but I'm wondering, does it actually work? Like, is there proof?
Newport himself is a computer science professor at Georgetown University, and he's written multiple books and dozens of academic papers. He credits all of this to deep work. He doesn't use social media, he's very protective of his time, and he's incredibly productive.
So he practices what he preaches.
Absolutely. And think about other examples. J.K. Rowling wrote the final Harry Potter book in a hotel room where she disconnected the internet.